When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite, obey your thirst.
Hey, it's Meredith. Maybe you knew this already, maybe not, but I really like bikes. And I decided to start a bike club and a training program to help people get ready for spring and summer races in 2026. And I've already had a lot of people sign up for both the club and the training program, but I've also had a lot of questions. And I haven't really advertised it on our main big platform. So I thought, why not record a bonus podcast episode on Hey Team Tactic Bike Club and my We Ride program. So that's what I'm going to talk about here with Alex. I'm going to give you all the details. And yes, if this doesn't convince you to buy a bicycle and join my club, I don't know what will. When you got back from swimming this morning and told me about your morning, it's actually surprising that you didn't wake me up with your car issue.
Why?
Because I imagine there was like some amount of panic that had set in when you realized that you had started the truck, and then also somehow, which I'm still sort of like confused by, somehow locked the keys in the car after starting it.
See, I was going to wake you up even before that happened. Because we have a spot where we put the keys. And you seem to like to put the keys in other places. So I was immediately annoyed that I couldn't take the Audi.
Okay.
So I was going to go and wake you up and be like, where are the keys?
But you found the keys after, and they were like just 2 shelves down.
Right.
In the same...
But they were mixed in with a bunch of other stuff like dog leashes and everything.
Oh, no.
So I was annoyed already by that.
Yeah.
So I just want you to know that you're welcome for not waking up to try to find the keys. So
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I don't want to start anything. I'm just going to take the truck.
Which
yeah.
is a brilliant car in snow.
Right. So I started the truck, and when I went back out to leave, I had somehow locked the keys in the car, which is weird because the truck wasn't even locked overnight.
Yeah. You must have hit the button on the door.
Must have.
Which I'm surprised it even, I mean, I know that it allows that because sometimes we'll let it run with the dogs in it in the summertime for the air. But it's like, you'd think there might be the fail safe.
Yeah.
But,
so anyway, I had to dig up the spare set of keys.
Yeah.
Which we have I've cleaned out the junk drawer. Everyone has one, right? But there's still items in there that are junk drawer-ish.
It went from like a capital, all caps junk drawer to lowercase junk drawer.
Right. So it's organized, but it's organized by putting all the junk in separate bags.
Right.
So there's a bag that has spare keys.
What?
And we have so many.
You put the car keys in with the random keys?
I don't know. Yes.
Okay.
I think I just put all the keys together. So I was really hoping that the keys were in there. Sure enough, they were. Thank goodness. So I was able to go to swimming.
Yeah. Do you know how you would have handled that had you not been able to find the keys?
Smash the window.
No. You call OnStar. They unlock your car remotely.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Who knew?
I did. And that's why
I wouldn't have smashed the window. I obviously would have woken you up.
Yeah. Yeah. If you get to the window
There's something
smashing.
going on outside. I need you to take care of it.
I've gotten as far as I can, and by that I mean I've locked the keys in the car and I don't know how to get them out.
Anything outside is in your purview.
Yeah, typically.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that.
Unless it has to do with the garbage bin.
Yeah, I have a limit. Because garbage is inside that becomes outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what days even the garbage gets picked up?
No, but I know where to find that information.
One time I put the garbage out the garbage truck came. I pulled it in immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And then you came out and you were so panicked because other people still had their garbage bins out.
Yeah.
And you thought we had missed garbage.
Yeah, because sometimes the garbage comes super late. And I was like, oh my God, of all the things for Alex to miss, garbage. But she was actually just like so on it that, yeah.
I like to keep you on your toes.
But anyways, this whole thing reminds me of that time you called me in an actual panic when you were at the airport. And so our Audi has a box, like a ski box on it. So it's, I don't know how tall that thing is, probably like 14 inches off the top of the car. It's like relatively low profile, but it is nothing. It might actually be because of the rack. It might actually sit up a little bit higher than that. So anyways, at the Calgary airport, there's 2 long-term parking decks. And one of the decks will fit, you can fit under the P2, yeah.
Which is international.
So one of them you can fit under with the box and one of them you can't.
P1 you can't, and that's domestic.
Which is kind of crazy when you think about how many people drive like big trucks, so they just have to park in the international. I guess it's an old deck, so they can't make it taller, but yeah, so anyways, you always have to park in international. And I think it was when you were flying to Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
And so you had prepaid for domestic. And you call me, and I've never heard you this panicked. Like I thought something big was wrong. And you start going on and on about the box and how you can't fit in the deck, but you had gotten underneath, because you know how like when you're they have that thing that hangs by chains. That's like,
this thing wasn't hung by chains. It was immovable.
No, it's hung by chains so you don't damage your car. That's the whole point of them.
This was not hung by chains.
I'm telling you, if it wasn't suspended, the box would have broken.
Why I was so panicked.
Okay.
This thing was not moving.
Okay.
That's why I got stuck under it.
Okay, so you call me, and what?
Okay, here's what happened. I roll up, and I'm like, ooh, this is going to be tight. I was thinking, I think I can fit, though. So I
just want to, did you like roll the window down and stick your head out?
I got out.
Wait, you got out of the car?
Yeah.
Before you tried to go through it?
I think so.
Why didn't you just roll the window down and like watch it as you were going under it?
Because the thing doesn't move.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
So it was secured by 2 wooden uprights.
Okay. Yep.
So I go and I think I get out and I look and I'm like, I think it'll be close, but I think I can do it. And then I pressed on the box and I'm like, the box is kind of squishy. I think it'll be fine.
Oof.
So I go under and I get stuck. I'm smushed. I'm smushed between the ground and the thing that says, I'm only this tall. You're probably not going to fit. And so then the car won't even reverse. So in my mind, I'm thinking, shit, I've like lodged the car under this, in between these 2 things.
And there's people behind you at this point?
At this point, there are people behind me.
So now we have
and
an
there's no
audience.
way around. I'm in like the one lane to get into this parking deck.
Yeah.
So yeah, I call you in a panic because that's what you do.
Right.
You call your more competent counterpart. I don't even know if I was coherent. I just said I was stuck.
You weren't. Yeah. It took me a solid bit of time to figure out what in the world you were talking about. And then I was like, oh, okay. So she tried to go to domestic with the Audi. It doesn't fit. Too tall. And there's a sticker in the top right that has the clearance. And you can just compare the clearance number to the number that's written on.
Okay, these are things that need to be told to me before I attempt something like this.
Okay, yeah. I think it's like 7 feet, 9 inches or something like that. And then usually there's like, the clearance is 7 feet, 2 inches. Yeah, so you'd be like, okay,
that's how
won't
close
fit.
it was.
So,
but
okay.
even then I probably would have been like, I can do it.
They probably... they short this.
They do.
Bit.
It's
so
like expiration dates.
You're stuck. You've called me. You're stuck, and you're like, "There's people," and I can't even like the level of panic. I was like, "First, take a breath."
Okay, because in my mind, because my mind does this thing where it always goes to worst case scenario. I'm imagining I'm gonna have to get rescued.
Probably, yeah.
They're gonna have to take off this wooden thing to get me unlodged. It's going to be a whole situation in the airport. I'm going to miss my flight.
They're going to have people behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you call me, and I'm like, oh, there's no way you're stuck. This is like a car with a V6 Audi engine versus a what now? A piece of plastic and some wood. Like,
I mean, I think it was all wood.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, Audi versus wood.
Yeah. You're like, wood wins every time. And I'm like, Ma, you'd be able to get it to move. And so you're going on and on. I was like, okay, hang on a second. Is the parking brake on? And you're like, well, how would I be able to tell if the parking brake was on? I was like, calm down. Where even is that? I was like, it's electronic. It's a little lever. It's right next to the gear shift. I need you to look in that area. Is there a red light on? And you were like, yeah.
That is exactly what I said.
Yeah.
How would I be able to?
And then I think it became like, well, I didn't put the parking brake on. And I'm like, no, I know. The parking brake comes on automatically when you exit the vehicle while it's still in drive without putting it in park. That's when the parking brake comes on automatically.
Also something I did.
Yeah. You were in such a like a fit that you got out of the car, and had it not been that car, had it been the truck, it just would have rolled on.
No, it wouldn't have.
Oh, it would have.
I was lost.
It would have. I promise you. Or you probably would have it probably was actually in reverse. So you would have gotten out of the truck. It's
and
in
backed
reverse.
into the cars behind me.
Yep. And it's just going backwards. And like at that point, you know, a calmer person would be just like, okay, open the door, back in, foot on the brake, or just reach in and put your hand on the brake. I don't know what in the world you would have done in that situation. Something, not that. So.
Why am I like this?
Just cause. It reminds me of that meme. There's like a few of them going around where it's like ADHD people in like a crisis, and it's just like the calmest, most like do this, do this, do this, do this, and then like ADHD people with ADHD in everyday life, just like mental chaos.
I'm the opposite.
You're the opposite,
right?
Yeah. There were so many people who messaged me when I posted that were like ICU or critical care nurses. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you need someone like that in those careers who, like, when shit gets really out of hand, they default to calm and cool and collected. But
that's why I never pursued a career in emergency services.
That's why.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like, had you not gotten me on the phone, you're like, okay, I'm going to problem solve this by myself. I'm lodged under wood.
Call 911.
Call 911. While waiting on them, have a brilliant idea. I know how to make my car less tall. I'm going to slash the tires. I can make this
I'm
thing...
thinking, ask around, see if someone has a screwdriver or an axe,
mm-hmm.
and crush the wood. Or how do you you take it apart? Deconstruct.
Disassemble?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disassemble the wood and peruse into the parking deck that I paid for in advance.
The one that you can't fit in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But like you said, they're always
right. That's
they give you a few inches.
Thing there is for show. You would consult the people behind you, but not the airport authority, who's like 100% had people get into that situation before.
I would have gone to the airport authority and said, you need to take this piece of wood off my car.
This is clearly, yeah. And also,
this is also dangerous.
And also too low. You know the parking deck isn't that low. Come on now. This is an Audi. It's not even a Ram.
Unbelievable.
So, calm, cool, collected. As always.
Always.
Yeah. We're a good pair. Anyways, yeah, welcome to a sort of random episode, I guess.
It's a bonus episode. And I want to ask you a very important question.
Okay.
People are wondering.
Who's people?
The people listening.
Okay.
People who have been following along on our biking adventures. What's Bike Club? Where did it come from? What is it? What are you offering? Because this has been in high demand. Ever since I started Run Club, people are asking, when's Bike Club starting?
And I'm like, leave me alone.
And I'm like, just run. There's already a club for that.
You don't even need a bicycle.
But people, they like what they like.
Yeah, and running's hard. Biking you can do and like it doesn't have to be hard.
Yeah, you're basically sitting down.
I know. It's great. You can make it hard, but you can also like take breaks and still keep moving. Versus running, when you take a break, you have to stop.
Right.
Lame. It's like the lamest thing about running. There's no coasting.
Agreed.
Unless you have Heelys. You know those little shoes with the wheels?
Right. That's, yeah.
They should make those. With like the like super shoe / Heely.
Right. For downhills.
That's the collaboration that we need.
Right. Mm-hmm. Not dangerous at all.
No. Okay. So yeah. So bike club. I'm still working on a name. I'm unhappy with the name. So right now the name is Hey Team Tactic Bike Club, which is a little wordy. So HTTBC is the acronym. HTBIZ.
It sounds like a TV channel.
So I'm working on alternatives. I also think you should change your run club name to like Tactic Runs or Run Tactic. We'll revisit that later at a later date.
Well, Tactic Run Club is TRC.
I know.
Which is not a bad acronym.
I know, but it's like something run club. Like how many something run clubs are there?
Because it's classic.
I want a name for bike club that doesn't end in club. It could be like just, okay, Tactic Bikes, for example.
Right.
A community for cyclists.
No.
A club for, well, no, I'm not.
Right. Okay.
Obviously.
Okay. So the name is still in the works.
Yeah.
But right now it's Hey Team Tactic Bike Club.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's also the URL. HeyTeamTacticBikeClub.com.
Okay.
Which just redirects to our fitness website. But I did buy the URL. So basically, yeah, I mean, I hear you. I've heard all the people who've asked for some sort of a virtual bike club. And I think up until now, with carrying one-on-one client load and doing a lot of the creative work, there wasn't a way for me to really fit it in. And even thinking about doing it was like, was just overwhelming because it's a lot of, how do I want it to run? And so I think part of the origin story is that I finally have time to do it. And I knew that I wanted it to be something distinctly different than Run Club. Like I didn't want to borrow that format because your Run Club is a great club, but it's also it is sort of centered around one-on-one work with people.
It's very personalized.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Run Club. It's reopening in January if you're interested.
Soft plug. Yeah, so I knew I wanted it to be a little bit different than that. And that does two things is it doesn't pull me back into one-on-one work at like even a medium volume because I'm sort of taking a step away from that. Not because I don't like people. I love people, but I just want to work and connect with people in a different way. So it doesn't take me back there. And it also allows me to offer it at a more more affordable price point. So when you look at, and I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm talking about the paid version of this bike club. So when you look at 5 months of paid coaching and programming, if that's done one-on-one, you're looking at potentially like a $1,500 investment or more.
But it's worth it.
Yeah, it's great. This is nothing wrong with that. But for a lot of...
For some people. Worth it for some people.
So for a lot of people, it just isn't approachable. And I'm also really sensitive to how expensive biking is in the first place. Our power came back on. Our power was out. It's now back on. Great. I'm also sensitive to how much biking costs in the first place. So I wanted to make this something that felt digestible for someone who's also having to equip themselves. You know what I mean?
I totally know what you mean. Mm-hmm. Biking is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It costs a lot.
It does.
So that's kind of the design of the paid program. And then to back up, let's go back to the club side of things. I wanted a club that could be kind of evergreen. So, and I think about the community. I want the community to be different and separate and apart from any programs that I run specific, like to coaching or race prep or anything like that. So I kind of decided to set it up as we'll make the bike club something that's free to join. It's just the community side of it. And then the programs will operate underneath that umbrella and they can change. And that's kind of the neat thing about this format is, so I can run this 5-month, gravel major prep program this winter and then see about maybe running something different in the fall, like maybe a skills program or a mountain bike program or something that's a bit more oriented around like sprints and short distance races. So it kind of gives all of that a place to live. And then the community, I just want to grow and develop over time. So I'm not interested in making this like a UCI club or anything like that right away.
What's a UCI club?
UCI is it's the governing body for cycling racing. So you can start a club, you can make it official with UCI. So that allows you to race under it. So really it would just be for like me and a handful of other people who are like cat racers. And it allows you to participate in like competitive road racing, mountain bike racing, any UCI races in like an official capacity with your club. It would be like a privateers club.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's not what I want right now. What I want is really just a virtual, kind of an online space for people to gather, and like specifically women, people who are underrepresented in traditional cycling spaces. So Black, Indigenous, queer people, trans, non-binary. It's hard to find spaces that truly feel like inclusive and welcoming, because cycling is so heavy on like the men, like specifically like white men. And I'm not saying that that's not pejorative, like there's nothing wrong with that. It is the fact. And that's a hard space to step into as someone who isn't that. And if you're listening to this, it's highly likely that you're not that. So you probably know what I'm talking about. And cycling's certainly not the only space that has that friction built into it. So that's kind of the idea behind the club. And then, maybe the club over time, we start running camps or get-togethers, or it really just it creates for me, like selfishly, a like landing page and a space to explore what I can offer from a cycling standpoint, because I love bikes and I love cycling so much that it's actually kind of ridiculous that this is the first offering that I've put into place. Yeah. So.
Okay. So to recap, you have a free bike club, which is the umbrella or giant pool, and anyone can join that.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you've never ridden a bike before, if you just got an indoor trainer, or if you're an experienced rider. You can be
gravel,
in bike club.
mountain, road.
There's community events. There's some options for webinars. There'll just be things that come up over time. And you're part of this, like, everyone is kind of starting out with this like 5-month initial buy-in. So
yeah.
So there's this, and that's free. So you get a free community and that sort of thing. And then within that, you're thinking of, so let's think of that as like a pool that everyone is in. You'll say, okay, everyone in this giant pool, I'm opening up this little hot tub over here for 5 months. It's this much to pay for it. This is what you get.
Right.
And little other pools will pop back up.
Yep. Yeah.
Pop up over time, depending on how it goes.
Yeah. So the rollout of Bike Club in this program is, I wouldn't say it's like clunky, but they're coming together, and that like might create some initial confusion as to the difference of them. So just understand there's like the foundation is Bike Club. On top of that sits the programs. The program that I'm starting with is a program that I've decided to call We Ride. And it's a 5-month intensive program that is designed to get people race ready, specifically kind of aiming at Unbound. And I'll talk about why that is. But really any major race in the spring or early summer, this would be appropriate for. So with that is going to be programming that will be in Training Peaks, which if anyone's done bike training, they're probably familiar with Training Peaks. A lot of times coaches use it. You don't have to pay for it. It's a free app. And then there's a paid version, but you don't need to pay for it. And then with the coaching side of things, for me, I basically get X number of athletes that I can bring under my roster and then send programming to people. And that's how coaches use it. It's actually a really slick platform. And then the workouts themselves sync up to Zwift, Wahoo, Training Peaks even has their own virtual training environment, Garmin, things like that. So there's the programming side of things, and there will be different programs for different duration events. So I was kind of like, how do I do this? Because people are racing anywhere from like 50 miles or maybe even less up to 200. So there has to be a way to delineate programs. And the best way I can think of to do that is by targeting finish time, like duration. So essentially that will be like a long program. So if someone who may be doing the 200 or will be doing the 100, but not like quickly, then there'll be like a medium and then a short. So you kind of pick which one makes the most sense for you, and then programming is designed around that. And with that comes also like some basic strength training that will play nicely with that program. And then, like, spoiler alert, I'm going to write the Tactic Fitness program, like strength program, around Unbound, because also I do the Tactic Fitness program myself. So it needs to make sense for me. I'm doing Unbound in May. Like, I don't want to have to write myself a whole nother program. So like everyone's going to be doing strength training that is appropriate for Unbound.
But it will still be appropriate even if you're not biking or not doing Unbound.
Yeah. I mean,
100%.
that's just, it's all it is. It's going to manage volume kind of in like basically starting in early April, heading towards the end of May. It's going to taper down and build intensity up, because it's a great time to, like, your leg strength kind of goes through the roof when you're biking, especially early in the season. So it's actually a really cool time to test some 1RMs and 3RMs and things like that. And it's most appropriate to bring down squatting volume as your biking volume goes up in your final peak phase. So I'm just aligning. That's it. Which I would do anyways with that program. It might just be like, we do that in mid-April instead of late May or mid-June. I'm just making the timing make sense. In addition to the programming, we're going to run some educational seminars. So I want this to be, because I also recognize there's a lot of people who are very new to biking, either new to biking generally or new to gravel biking, if that's what they're kind of targeting. And there's a lot that goes into riding a bike that is separate and apart from training and like the physiological side of it. So things like basic bike handling. And because everybody thinks like, oh, it's like riding a bike. Like you hear that all the time, right? Like, yeah, anyone can probably sit on a bike and roll. But there are sort of like handling specifics that become really relevant when you're on loose terrain, when you're on variable terrain. So talking about the basics of, weighting your feet so that you're engaging your tires in the right way, body position, like ready position versus passive position, that kind of thing.
Even a lot of gravel bikes come with drop bars. So where to put your hands and when.
Right. Yeah, when would you use your drops versus your hoods?
Yeah, so this can go back to very beginner, but there's also people out there who are biking a ton and still don't know why they're using different parts of their handlebars.
Yeah,
or when to use them.
When would it be okay to not use drops? Like there's me, like I hardly ever use my drops. Sometimes, but I'm super comfortable on the hoods. But there are some people that are really uncomfortable on the hoods because they are grippy, and it actually makes, like, if you're going downhill or over really bumpy stuff, it increases the risk of you losing a hand, like having a hand fly off your bars and then you crash. So yeah, just little stuff like that from bike handling. We're going to talk about, like, in the educational series, when we do like basic bike maintenance, like emergency bike maintenance. We're going to make sure that everyone knows how to like fix a flat, whether you're running tubes or tubeless. Like, how do you use one of those weird tire like plug things, how do you use a CO2 canister and make sure you're not going to waste it? Or you can be like me
that has all the stuff and just hopes that we don't have to use it.
I mean, that's the reality of it too. And that's part of it. I mean, in addition, it's like, what things do you definitely need to have on your bike for emergency repair? Like, what do you not need to have on your bike? You don't want to carry your entire like toolbox with you, because now there's a weight issue. So basic bike maintenance.
If all else fails, try to get ahead of Meg Fisher.
Yeah.
Because you know that she'll stop to help you.
Actually, yeah, just make sure, just pick the races Meg's doing.
Yeah.
Although she's actually
faster than her, which is not easy to do.
Maybe doing a bit more racing this year, so she may not stop. No, she would definitely stop. That's her fatal flaw.
I know. She always wants to help people.
Yeah, which I love about her. Might try to get people like Meg Fisher to join for some education. Like, there's no one who knows more about emergency bike repair than Meg Fisher. Like, she helped someone at Dusty patch a sidewall with a gel, like an empty gel packet, and stuff like that works. It's kind of, you just need to understand what's going on, and that opens up options for how to fix problems. Even if you're fixing it and you know, like, hey, there's a gel packet in my tire. Like, I know I can't ride balls to the wall here anymore, but I know that I can get back.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like that. We'll talk about like basic bike fit. So there are issues that people have with cycling. Like back pain is probably the number one physical issue that people have. And a lot of that can be fixed with both bike fit and then also position on the bike and understanding how to engage the right muscles. Like this was my big issue early on, was my back would just get blasted. And then I realized like, oh, that's because I'm really used to doing everything with my back in the gym. And when I'm sitting on my bike, I'm just kind of allowing my body to default to like, you're going to hold yourself up with your back. And I just like wasn't using my front side, like core muscles at all. Well, there's ways to fix that, to drill it so that becomes more natural. And then all of a sudden you don't have back issues anymore. Like hand and shoulder pain, neck pain, so like position stuff on the bike we'll talk about. And this is going to be in different webinars, like not all in one. You know, how to pick out a bike if you haven't purchased a gravel bike yet, or a mountain bike, or whatever it is you're shopping for. Like what things, if you're trying to maximize what you get for your money, like what do you look for?
What do you look for if you're buying used?
Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
I know. Tires, like, you know, bringing someone in from Continental to talk about tire technology a little closer to the race, because that's something that you'll start to hear as you get close to Unbound. Like that's the question, right? Like what tires are you going to run? And there's a lot of things that go into that decision. So how do you make that decision? Because running the wrong tires can have like a very negative impact on your day. Even if it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm running slicks in the mud, like running really knobby tires in hero gravel conditions just makes your day slow. So you want to make sure that you're choosing the right equipment and controlling the things that you have control over the best that you can, so that you optimize your results and also like your experience out there on the bike. How do you like, what tire pressure do I run? How do I figure that out? How does that change based on the tire and the conditions? How often do I need to put sealant in? What is sealant? How do I put sealant in my tires? What else? Talking about like history of women in these big races and bike racing generally, like getting someone like Kate Verano on to talk about that, and probably also talk about, you know, online training. Kate is the director of women's initiatives at Zwift and a buddy of ours, and just really great to come on. Getting
Riley from Garmin.
Yeah, getting Garmin on a little closer to race day to talk about how to use technology and optimize and set up your computers, your watches, so that they're helping you not just like keep track of your heart rate and make sure you stay on course, but also reminding you to eat and drink, warning you about hazards that are coming up. There's a lot that these devices can do that help you. You just have to be able to set them up. So yeah, really the purpose of WeRide is to provide training and education, right? Is to increase competence on the bike and off the bike, which increases overall confidence. Because I think one of the biggest barriers to cycling and getting into it as an adult, especially as women, which sucks, but this just is what it is because we're conditioned to be away, is there's a lot of technical knowledge required to feel confident. It doesn't mean that you have to like be an expert. It's almost like having enough knowledge to reduce anxiety associated with not having the knowledge. You know what I mean? Because you don't like, I haven't had to fix a flat. I've never had one. I know how to do it. And for me, knowing how to do it is all I really need. That's it. Like I've helped someone do it. I've never had to do it myself, which is great. What else? What am I missing so far with WeRide?
Well, if you're going to Unbound, I think I'm going to do a webinar on how to support.
Yeah, let's talk about the Unbound relationship first, and then we'll do the...
Sure.
Yeah. So this WeRide kind of came about for Unbound. So it was last year I was involved with a More Women, More Miles initiative, which is really was set up to get more women to the start line, specifically for the 100 and 200 at Unbound. And so I wanted to continue that this year. And that's part of the purpose of WeRide, is to encourage people to sign up for Unbound. Specifically, we're going to do like in-person activations in Emporia and just have a really big community there. And because that was something that I was just blown away by last year, was how many women were there, like, because of the work that we did. Like, I had no idea. So that's part of it. But I also wanted to make sure, like, I think women's sports is super important. And it's one of those things, like, by giving attention and money and support to women's sports, you kind of you're supporting, you know, minority participation in a lot of ways. But, like, supporting women's only is, by definition, also kind of an exclusive thing. And we are, like, we're women. We represent women athletes, but we also are gay. Like, we represent the queer community. We represent the non-binary community, the trans community. We have all of these people in our community that don't necessarily fit the women's box. And so I wanted to make sure and find a way to make sure that women are supported, but also a lot of these other communities that we feel strongly about. And so that's why ultimately We Ride ended up being aimed at a slightly broader definition of cyclists, which is very simply, like, people who you would not normally see at start lines. That's it. With that said, like, still have the initiative of getting more women to register for Unbound. But we're also partnering with Dusty Bandita. Dusty Bandita is a women's race. We don't need
women's plus.
Yeah, women's plus. Like, we don't need to work harder to get more women at that race. But what we do need to work harder on is getting a more diverse collection of people there. And bringing more visibility to it generally. So that's kind of the relationship with Unbound. And then because of that, Unbound is probably one of the most famous gravel races in the world, and it has a bit of a reputation. And the reputation that it has is that it's gnarly. I mean, it's long, right? Like, you're looking at 200 mile is one of the longest races on the Grand Prix circuit. It's one of the longest races you'll see on any Grand Fondo. It's long. 100 is long, and it's like the middle distance. Having your person there doing it is nerve-wracking because you're in charge of them and making sure that they have what they need, making sure you're where you need to be when you need to be there at aid stations, and ready to support them. And if you've never done that, and if the person that you're supporting has never done that, you're like, well, what do I need? You could bring everything for sure, but there's definitely a more productive way to crew and to support a rider. And that's something that you've learned through experience at specifically Unbound and probably Leadville this year, is what that looks like. And I mean, the first year Unbound was wild. I think you had so much, but we didn't know.
I honestly don't even remember.
Yeah.
The first year at Unbound. You were wearing the peanut butter kit, but I don't really remember much about it.
You had 2 chairs unfolded. So I had options for
sitting. Oh, we had the van.
You had, yeah.
That's why I was able to have so much stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did have a lot.
And that was great, but also unnecessary.
Right.
Yeah. So you got support last year.
I'm a minimalist when it comes to support.
Yeah.
As a result of having to fly. Because a lot of people just drive.
Yeah.
Which is great for your bike and also making sure you have what you need. I mean, some people have multiple coolers, which would be great to have, but I figured out how to manage ice and stuff with not having a ton of stuff to carry, especially if you're parking far away or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah. So you're going to do a webinar where I guess we invite obviously the bike club people, but also their handlers to do an education on crewing.
Yeah.
For races like this. Because you've learned, even through support last year at Unbound from Libby, some little like, oh, I would not have thought of this, but having, different options available for temperature management. And
it helps to know a little bit about bikes too.
Yeah.
Because you never know what you're going to need to do, like cleaning the chain or the drivetrain or whatever it might be that your partner needs you to do at the aid station.
You know what we should bring this year is like, that the sprayer that I bought for the yard?
Yeah.
We should get one of those and just have water in it so you can like spray down bikes and things. Anyways, sidebar. So having some education on things like crewing, hugely important. And then once we're in Emporia, so there's a few races that are going to be like official things that we do this year. So Unbound is the first one, Dusty Bandita, second one, and that's literally the week after Unbound. So we did that. That sounds terrible, We did it this year and it's actually great. I felt fine. And I think because I was still on that like Unbound peak training, I actually like crushed that race.
You did, which was annoying.
I know. So we will also be doing Fernie Gravel Grind as a partner event, and then RPI as an unofficial, but yeah, we're going to be at RPI every year. And RPI is a week after. It's usually on Labor Day weekend, and they've pushed it back a week, which is great because that situation will be way more affordable and less chaotic. So let's go back to Unbound. We're gonna do some in-person things there. So it's basically it's a long weekend, and by long I mean the events start on Thursday. Really, I think they actually start on Wednesday. So we'll probably be there on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then plan for a brunch or a dinner, TBD. Kind of depends on schedule. With our group, and we're gonna have some support from a buddy in Emporia on setting that up. And then like shakeout ride, and hopefully my goal is to have a tactic like tent or something at the aid stations, at least the one main one that's probably going to be shared between the 100 and 200, so that there's like, go here. And whether you've parked your car or, you're riding in, what to look for and where to go, instead of having to like navigate a parking lot with different parking passes and things like that. And, maybe we can have a repair stand or, some communal tools, things like that. So that's kind of the goal. And that will help with, visibility, but also, if we're going to have so many people there and so many crews, maybe we can coordinate so like not everyone has to bring an entire toolkit kind of a thing. So that's kind of the goal. Yeah.
Should be a great time. If you've never done a long race, this is the way to do it, because you're going to get everything all in for actually a very reasonable price.
Yeah.
Which is intentional, as you mentioned. So I'm excited for it.
Oh yeah.
I love going to Unbound. I kind of like going and experiencing the event without racing. It's different.
Yeah.
It's fun that way. It's relaxed. It's a nice community. And then race day is really nice. It's like you don't do anything for many hours, and then all of a sudden when your person comes, it's all hands on deck. And then they leave and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wait for 6 hours.
Yeah. It's pretty wild though. I mean, it's a huge race. It's like 5,000 people across all of the distances. And just seeing that many cyclists in one area is pretty unbelievable. And I know I've talked about this on recap episodes, but the start line, like the ride out it's surreal, especially if you've trained by yourself in your garage, if you mostly ride by yourself, to all of a sudden be riding with 500 people. Just the sound and the energy that comes from that is hard to put into words. But it's something like I'm getting goosebumps even just like thinking about it. It's honestly one of my favorite parts of the whole race is the start line, the ride out, which reminds me that we should also talk about group riding somewhere in the education part. But it's really great. And I think my goal is just to I guess honestly kind of selfishly to have more bike friends and people to ride with. Not that we have any shortage of that in Fernie, but it's just something I feel like because of who we are and what we have, we can bring it to more people. And biking is something that a lot of people who can't run can do. And it almost provides an even greater sense of freedom. And there's like a sort of a childlike component to it, because it's, a lot of us learn how to ride bikes as children and we do it. And then you just stop. Like you don't really ride bikes as an adult unless you absolutely have to. And honestly, in a world where there's literally no reason to ride a bicycle for transportation or like even entertainment, like choosing to ride a bike is kind of a little miniature rebellion over, the way that a lot of people get around. And I like that. So, especially for if you're a person who is not a dude.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I think anyone listening should join.
Yeah.
At least join the free version and get in the community and see what it's about. But I think if you're interested at all in doing a spring race or a summer race, this is your opportunity to get it all in from yours truly.
Yeah. It's going to be really cool. I'm having to practice a lot of restraint and not just go so hard in the merchandise.
So what is the plan for registration?
Right. So to register, the URL is Hey Team Tactic Bike Club or Hey Team. What is it? Is it? Let me actually double check that. HeyTeamTacticBikes.com.
Okay.
And that will take you to a page on our fitness website that is hidden. But it has information on that page about what's included, about what it is, both Bike Club and We Ride. And then at the bottom, there are two options to register. So you can register for Bike Club. Bike Club is free. We're putting people through the registration process so that we have a waiver on file and have your email address for our list so that we can, and so you have access to our members only page, which will be that on our website once it goes live. And so that will be where the webinars that are available for the free Bike Club live. We'll run some blog content and content over there that is for members only. And we'll probably do some other stuff with that website too. And then for We Ride, you have access to the free Bike Club page, but then you will also have a members only page on our website that's for We Ride only. So that's where you'll see the We Ride exclusive content, webinars, group calls. Oh, we're going to do group coaching. We didn't even talk about that. We're going to have group coaching calls. So there's two formats for the calls. There's the webinars, which will be non-interactive or less interactive. And then the group coaching, which is more of a group activity. And then I'll also start up a We Ride group coaching WhatsApp that people can choose to get into. But yes, there will still be members only content for the We Ride folks on that webpage. And then you get an invite in the email after you register to join the Bike Club Facebook page group, which will be kind of the, because members only pages are fine, but they're non-interactive. So it's like, how do I create a community and allow for that community to interact with itself? It needs to be something like Facebook or Discord or a different app. And so I kind of landed on Facebook just because it's most familiar. I use it with the fitness company, so I'm familiar with it. I've built the habit of using it. And then it's something that can kind of just live and grow forever. You do have to register before you get an invite, so you can't just join the Bike Club. So if you're listening to this, so you haven't registered, don't, because I won't allow you in. But you have to register first.
Yeah, and there's also a cap for the We Ride, the paid version.
Yep.
So get on it.
It's not full yet.
If you're keen,
yeah,
get on it.
Yeah, it's getting there though.
Yeah.
I'm always flattered when people sign up for my programs. Every time it's been a while since I've launched something like this, but even the habits challenge, I'm like, nobody's going to sign up.
Set your expectations low.
I don't know what that is.
I'm the same. It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I think Bike Club, because it was really a ground up build, I had to decide exactly what it was, how it was going to run, what's the structure, how am I going to deliver it, what am I going to charge, where are people going to go. It was a lot of work, and then I'm like, well, what if people hate it? What if they don't actually like me? What if no one wants to do this?
Trust me, that's my brain, but with everything.
Yeah, it's rare. I don't like that.
The only thing I know for sure is that Joe loves me.
She's here. So, yeah. If you have questions, you know where to find us. You can reach out about that. We'll probably see some content go up in the next week because it's going to kick off on January the 5th.
Great timing.
Perfect time.
Especially in the winter.
Yeah.
Oh, winter, especially if you live somewhere there's snow. It's just a tough time of year. You're not going to be all alone in your gym, riding on your indoor trainer by yourself because you have the community behind you. And it sounds ridiculous, but that remote community can be very valuable.
Yeah, it's killer.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. Well, if that doesn't convince you to run out by a bicycle, I don't know what will. If you've already joined, I really appreciate that. If you're on the fence, just do it. Even the free version, you don't have to pay anything. Just join the Bike Club. They'll be weird about it.
Yeah.
If you do want some training and support heading into the spring, We Ride is going to be a great program, especially if you also feel drawn towards the education because you're like, I don't know a damn thing about derailleurs. I can help you with that. Ride a bike, rock a little know-how. We're going to do it all. And like I said, Hey Team Tactic Bikes is the website. You know where to find me over email. And if you don't, keep it that way. Just reach out on the contact page. It'll go to somebody that isn't me that will forward it to me. Yeah. appreciate you guys. I hope that you have a happy holidays. I think we're going to take next week off of recording, so you'll miss a week for podcast, but don't worry, we'll be back in action in 2026. How is it 2026 already? I have no
Wild.
idea. It's nutty. Appreciate your support all year long and all the different ways that you provide it, including just listening to us talk. It's amazing that people do that. Yeah, hope that you have a happy, healthy holiday, and let's kick off 2026 in a really fun way.
On two wheels.
I was getting there.
Oh, you were going to say that?
Yes.
No way.
Yes. That was going to be my joke. But you can have it.
Thanks. I mean, you snooze, you lose.
I guess so. All right. Well, appreciate you guys. And we will talk to you next year.
Longest sign off ever.